What's up, Lethal Army? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this knife. But before I do, I'd just like to say I have a cold right now, so if I sound weird at all throughout this video, that's why. Don't hate on me too much. Okay, let's get to it. The materials you'll need for this build are this 9" by 2" replacement lawnmower blade, driftwood, and this all-purpose epoxy putty. If you intend to drill holes through it, you can use nails. We'll start off by cutting off this end part because I don't need that. I don't want that on my knife. Also, I'm going to cut this in half. I'm using a bandsaw, but you really don't need to. You can use a hacksaw or a jigsaw if you have one. Now after cutting it flat, I can lay it against the lawnmower blade and trace it with a Sharpie. Now that I've drawn my design, I'm going to take my angle grinder and cut it out. Make sure to use the proper safety equipment when using an angle grinder. They are very dangerous. Okay, I just cut out the knife and I want to get rid of this black paint now so I can glue it to the handle and it won't have any problem sticking. For that, I'm going to take a steel brush and rub it so then it cleans up a little bit like this. So now I finished removing the paint. This is all that I can get off, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be taking a file to it, making it even more rough so the glue has more to adhere to. Hopefully that'll take off this paint that's still remaining. Now the handle's pretty scratched out. I'm going to attach it with the epoxy. Now that I put the handle on, I'm just going to file and grind off these little metal bits that are protruding from the wood so that the handle is more one piece and so it'll hold a little bit better in my hands. Finished with that, so I'm now just going to grind the bevel onto the blade. Probably going to do a bevel here, maybe up here. I don't know, it depends on how I like it. To start off, you're going to take a grinder of any type. I'm using my angle grinder, and you're going to hold the blade at a constant angle against it, and then it'll start to make a bevel on the outside. To have a little bit of the bevel, it'll be easier. You can then just find that bevel and then continue to ride the blade on it. Make sure that you are dousing the blade with water to cool it off and you don't burn the blade too much. It's going to ruin the temper and ruin the metal and it just won't look nice or work well. I just finished cutting the bevel into it. I then filed it and then sanded it. Now it's smooth. I sanded it with 220 grit sandpaper. You can go more if you like to. Now I'm going to color the blade with a blowtorch because I want it to match more of the handle, and if you heat up the blade evenly it can get a nice straw color to it, and I think that'll really work well with the handle. I heated the blade a little bit too much and I got this blue sheen instead of the straw one I was looking for, but I don't have a problem with it. I think it looks really cool even if it doesn't match too well. Now I'm just gonna sand off the bevel so that the bevel's still shiny, and then the blue will be remaining. Now that I've done that, I'm gonna apply a clear coat of spray paint onto the handle to hopefully act as a poly, which is going to resist against the water and just bring out the color a little bit. Since I'm lazy and I don't want to wait for the paint to dry, I've placed my knife inside of this box and turned on the heat gun. This will trap the hot air and dry the paint faster. I finished the poly coat now, so I'm just going to put this piece of PVC on it, which fits really well with this natural circle, and I'm going to heat it up with my heat gun and then squish it in my vise to make it flat against the knife. Then I'm going to trace it, cut it out, and maybe paint it. I finished the sheath. I did spray paint it, but I wanted some of these detail marks to come out that were left by my vise, so I sanded over it just to make it look worn, and I think it looks cool. This is the completed knife. Hey guys, thanks for watching all the way to the end. I really hope you enjoyed this. It was fun to make it. It was a pretty simple build. It only cost me like $6, which is pretty good. Don't forget to comment what you want me to make next. Like this video, subscribe. I'm outie.